Friends, happy Tuesday, the 18th of July. Nice to be with you. I'm Father Bill Hill, priest at Holy Spirit Catholic Community in Rock Springs, Wyoming. I'll share with you a reflection based on the daily readings. The daily readings are linked down below. Click the link, read the readings prayerfully, and then turn off the screen. Spend some time with God before you move on to other things. One parish announcement. Next week we have Vacation Bible School. Monday to Thursday, kindergarten through fifth graders, looking for older students to volunteer and help us, as well as adults with background check and safe environment. If you're looking to register or questions or volunteer stuff, please talk to Michelle in the parish office. Awesome. Today we are kind of beginning again, book of Exodus. Started that yesterday, and listening to some of Jesus' teaching coming from the Gospel of Matthew. So yesterday in the book of Exodus, we heard about how the Egyptians started to oppress the Israelites by throwing male children born into the river. And so today we hear about an origin story of the lawgiver, Moses. We hear about the origin of his name, right? Because I pulled him from the river. We hear about how he kind of inhabits a little bit of both worlds, the Israelite world and the Egyptian world, as well as then the geographic world of Egypt and Midian. Not quite at home in any of these places. The way that, God arranged for his mother to be his milk nurse and all of those sorts of things. As we maybe reflect about Moses and his origins, perhaps it's good for us to just call to mind again our own origins. Sit with, realities of origin. Our families, our parents, where it is that our faith comes from, maybe particular important points in our own journey of faith or journey of life. We hear about these with Moses, and we see some of the threads, the ways that God, guided and provided for the people. How about for us? Do we see the same sorts of ways that God cares for us in the midst of our own lives? Yeah, I think that's probably a good one as we hear about Moses. Let's talk about Matthew's gospel, right? So Jesus issues statements of condemnation towards Chorazin, Bethsaida, and Capernaum. So these are towns that primarily he had ministered in. And he, presumably had looked forward to them accepting and embracing the reign of God. And instead, they're busy with everything else. They continue on in the midst of their lives, but they don't change behaviors, worldview, actions, because they're focused on other sorts of things. How's the Lord calling us to conversion, to change, to becoming more ourselves, to embracing more completely the reign of God as Jesus presented it? How is God calling us to be different in these days? We don't want to just point the finger at Chorazin, Bethsaida, Capernaum long ago. We also want to recognize that so long as there's breath in us, there is still the ability to respond more and more to the grace of God, to become the saints that God has created us to be. So, pray with Moses, pray with Jesus, turn off that screen, and spend some time with God before you move on to other things. All right, friends, happy Tuesday. Read those readings prayerfully. Pray for folks that are having a hard time. God bless.